Oh my goodness. So to start off 2022, Black Clover just decided, you know what? We're gonna go savage. We're about to go a different direction in terms of a whole lot of mud hole stomping is what's in store. I truly feel moving forward after Black Clover chapter 318, because what was just set up at the end, oh my god, I feel a weird deja vu. Like I kind of seen something like this before in a good way, of a certain amount of Kage, maybe 5 of them, that try to go up against a dude, might have been named Mamoru Chiha, and the results of that was little, dare I say, catastrophic. Like Black Clover 318, baby. I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to become a believer of Lucifero. Tabata, I'm sorry, I doubted you a little bit when it came to this, because keeping it a buck, leading up until this point, when we just had, prior to last chapter, before Lucifero was in this humanoid-esque form, when he was like melding with, you know, the ground and the, you know, city and all that other stuff, I was just kind of like, I'm not digging it at all. I just got something very similar to that in 7 Deadly Sins. Wasn't a fan of that, and I say just because I just experienced that and watching the 7 Deadly Sins. I know that happened a couple years ago in the manga, but yeah, like I just went through something like that, and it was kind of corny to me. I wasn't a big fan of it. So when I saw that with Lucifero, I'm like, is that going to be, you know what I'm saying, we're going through the freaking Power Rangers version? Like, but it looks like, based on what we're seeing here, that Yuki Tabata was doing that in terms of like, yo, here's something light, let me give you a little bit of camaraderie, because it's about to get dark. It's about to get very, very dark once you actually see Lucifero. And the crazy thing is, as they continue to point out in each and every chapter, he's not even complete yet. Imagine when he's complete, it's gonna be chaos, and it's already chaos. Like, yo, let's talk.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
I'm not even gonna lie, when I came into this chapter, I was like, oh boy, here we go, because where we left off, Lucifero showed up and he had Asta and a lot of the fandom quaking in their boots, like, what did we just step into? And I ain't gonna lie, Liebe had the cojones there to start yelling at Lucifero, saying, you killed Lucita, do you remember me? And I'm like, well, on one hand, okay, dope, he's actually standing up for himself, even though he's like in a chibiized form. You know what I'm saying? He's like a little chibi on Asta's shoulder, but he's standing up, and at the end of the day, this is something that he's waited for his entire life. You know, he was trapped inside the damn grimoire this entire time, waiting for this one moment to get his vengeance, because aside from everything else, Lucifero is the one that killed Lucita, and you know, his whole backstory and stuff like that. With Lucita, he couldn't contain himself, and I ain't gonna lie, again, you gotta go on this, because I'm looking at that thing like, somebody get me away. Where's Finral? Finral, please teleport me out of here. And he's there like, yeah, you got some guts, fam. For now, anyway, until Lucifero decides to take them guts out of you, dog. Pause. And I love how basically Lucifero, because, you know, he's the Demon King, right? And he's basically, in his mind, like, way leaps and bounds above any of this crap down here. You know, you can't even mess with me. He kind of gave me a little bit vibes to a certain degree of a demonic version, even though the character is demonic, of Gilgamesh from the Fate franchise. Like, Gilgamesh is like, you petty little worthless worm, it don't matter if you think you're royalty or not. Like, I'm Gilgamesh. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? That's how Lucifero came across when he responded to him with, why would I know you? You're scum that doesn't have a shred of magic. Like, I was just kind of like, what? Which, I mean, that kind of makes sense with his character, but at the same time, he did say, like, I want to say that he was not going to give up. This wasn't going to be the end, and the fact that he was tailing them for a bit, I wouldn't be surprised if he's kind of halfway, like, keeping it real in terms of, like, you ain't shit, but then at the same time, maybe he does recognize, or he could in a little bit recognize him, because at the end of the day, remember, he's also in a different form right now, so he's not going to remember some woman that he killed. You know, he kills a lot of people. I'm sure he does a lot of heinous acts and whatnot, and Liebe looks a little different than he did before. He's like in the chibi form. He was a little boy at that point, so maybe, you know, if X, Y, and Z happens, or as they continue fighting and he looks at Asta's face more, and then he hears Liebe, and Liebe keeps on saying things, it could trigger a memory to him. Oh, okay, I remember you now. And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, I rock with it, I get it. It kind of felt a little bit, dare I say, different, I don't know, when Liebe was screaming at Asta, not in a bad way, but he was like, yo, we can't right now, we gotta do this no matter what. I want to take this dude down. And that's that they're in freaking all this crazy gravity pushing them down. Like Liebe, genuinely, you could tell, like at the end of the day, everything that we know thus far, this is his life's goal right here. So he's kind of losing it a little bit in terms of he's not being able to stay composed because he just sees this creature that took away Lucita right in front of him finally. He's finally here in the physical. He can actually extract his revenge. It's just like you're trying to extract revenge against somebody that is very hard to accomplish that mission towards. However, which I'm kind of wondering, okay, so is it because of them not having magic? Is it because of Asta being strong as hell? Is it because of the strength, the combined strength of this devil union form? Because Asta is still able to maneuver. Like he's still maneuvering around despite the fact that this gravity is like, you know, pushing down on them. And the fact that now that I think about it, towards the end of the chapter when, you know, all of that gets introduced, all the captains and whatnot, they're also able to maneuver. So maybe like if you're strong enough, you're able to maneuver, or if your mana is strong. Well, he doesn't have mana. It must be because of the devil union form that is putting him on the same playing field as like the captains that are able to maneuver in this crazy crushing gravity. And he uses a devil union tracking magic, swinging his sword at this dude again, not giving up. And I'm like, okay, I don't know, man. Lucifero so far is a little bit scary. And I noticed, which I'm wondering what is going to be his overall role in all this. I feel like it's being set up for maybe even more battles down the line, because we got that Supreme Devil from the second level. He's still there. He's commentating. He's shocked that there's somebody that can actually move around in Lucifero's gravity. So he's very familiar, of course, with Lucifero. Obviously, if he's a Supreme Devil of like, even if it's just the second level, everybody's heard of Lucifero, and he might be maybe a little more knowledgeable of him than people from like the first gate. And again, I think he's just being set up for like battles down the road, because he's kind of not doing anything but just talking. And this was probably one of the most epic moments. No, this is hands down the most epic moment of the chapter, because Asta and Liebe swing their sword towards Lucifero, and Lucifero stops it with his hand. They can't even move it. They're like, yo, what the hell? We can't freaking move. The sword won't budge, because Lucifero is that dude. And he looks at his hand after holding the sword, and he just sees a tiny little, like a freaking paper cut, almost a tiny little bloop of blood on his finger, and that pissed him off, because somebody that's not used to anything like that happening, like I guess it's a little bit different than, you know, the kaiju, I don't even know what the hell you would call it, Power Ranger battle that he had when he was not in the physical. So maybe he didn't count that, because it's just like, yo, it's not even a real body or nothing. I'm not nowhere close to being completed, and he's still not complete here. I don't know what percentage wise he would be towards being complete. Maybe he's halfway or something like that, but now he's more in a humanoid body, and he's probably looking more like his actual real self. So to him now, it's like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you made me bleed, even though, again, they swung their entire sword. They can't even move, and he only got a little paper cut, and that still pissed him off. So much so that he says, how dare you, scum, and punches Asta, sending him flying. And I'm like, oh, wow. Because if Asta is one of the strongest things that we have right now, and this dude, incomplete, is able to knock him away with one punch and stop his sword and everything, we've got problems. And once again, that Supreme Devil from the second level commentating again of how strong Lucifero is, and emphasizing, which definitely to me, the fact that they continue to say this is making sure that we understand that there's more to Lucifero, and we are going to see him being complete, because he again says, hey, and you know, he's not even complete yet. He's incomplete at this point, and look how strong he is. And that's safe bet. I'll tell you right now, Lucifero will be complete at some given point during this battle, this war against him. He's going to be complete. That's why they keep on saying it, to make sure that everybody is in an understanding that he's so freaking strong, and he's whipping Asta's ass, and there's still a ways to go to his true strength, which means that we got bigger battles to come, and Asta's got more power-ups to obtain, I guess, huh? And then we cut to Vanessa, and it seems as though, despite the fact that they saved Yami, he's continuing to get weaker, and they can't afford at any given moment for Lucifero to, you know, catch their attention or anything like that, because if he goes over there, it's a wrap, and Yami's already in critical and weakening. And I don't know, I feel like Tabasa's playing around too much. Like, dog, we saved Yami, and now he's still in trouble. Like, I wonder, is there a possibility he's still connected to Quillfault, even though he's already been detached? That'd be kind of interesting to know if what's going on there. Or is generally, again, you got to think he's been trapped inside there, he's all messed up. Yeah, he's going to be suffering, and on top of that, there's this gravity that is crushing him. yeah, he's in a bad state. All of them are. I ain't gonna lie, my first read through, I had to read a couple different times. I'm like, wait a minute, are they hinting that Yami's about to get up or something? Like, yo, that would have just been sick as hell. I ain't gonna lie, I'm dying to see Yami get back up and fight again. Obviously, he needs to be healed up the yin yang or something, because if he's already, like, you know, he's weakening even more to the point where he could die, you know, that type of vibes, then ultimately, yeah, I don't know about Yami joining the fray, although I ain't gonna lie, I could see it happening, and one more time, Yami and Asta together, similar to when they fought Dante, I wouldn't mind seeing it. And I love that little explanation again, just putting more of a grandiose feel to him than already we've gotten, saying that just by existing, he forces all creations to their knees, essentially. Like, he's just a walking conqueror's hockey. Like, him being born is conqueror's hockey itself. Like, he's what? Dude is a G and a king in all forms. And Asta got whacked so damn bad from this dude that his eyes won't even focus. He literally can't even get up between the gravity and that punch that just, it was only one punch, but dude gave him like a nice Saitama size type of punch, because he's banged up. And again, rightfully so. And again, Lucifero is incomplete, which means that what the hell is the completed King of Devils like? However, the chapter ends off in a very crazy, insane way, with somebody saying, this little boy has been working hard. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? And we get a double spread of all of the captains of the Clover Kingdom, from Fuego Leon, Mario Leona. Everybody is there, and I'm not even gonna lie, this is dope in a certain regard. It brings me back, like I said in the beginning of this video, back to like when the 5 Kage went up against Madara. Like, yo, this is about to be hype. But I also foresee those same results happening, because just think about it for a second. We have seen already at this point that it looks like Asta's Devil Union is massively strong, like probably even surpassing captains at this point is where Asta's at with it, right? Asta just got manhandled, and even though there's a bunch of these captains here right now, we've seen them struggle against people that are weaker than what Lucifero is showcasing right now. I think that they're gonna get bodied, and the next time we cut to them, we're gonna see like Jack the Ripper in 3 pieces. Like, I think it's going to be a bloodbath made out of the blood of the captains of the Clover Kingdom. I think they're about to get wrecked like no tomorrow, and it's gonna be so gruesome, epic all around. Like, because you gotta think too, like Mario Leona just fought, you know, an insane battle against an ancient demon. She's weakened. Everybody is weakened at this point, on top of all the fact of how strong Lucifero is, and on top of the fact that he's incomplete. So, ooh, we got a long road ahead in terms of finishing this fight, but wow, I ain't gonna lie, what a way to end the chapter, and pretty spicy. I guess the biggest question I gotta ask, how do you guys think it's going to play out in the next chapter with the battle of the captains of the Clover Kingdom versus Lucifero? Do you think that they're gonna be able to take him out? Do you think it's going to be a recreation of Madara and the Kages, and we're gonna come back to them and they're gonna be just all messed up, broken in half? Oh my god, don't do Mario Leona like Tsunade. That's all I ask. Don't have her cut in half there with a tree trunk or something. Please no. And your overall thoughts and expectations for Black Clover manga with chapter 319 and beyond. Wow, what a twist. Lucifero's looking way better. I ain't gonna lie, I counted it out. I was looking at Tabata with a little side eye of like, really, Power Ranger Super Sentai? He did a whole 180 on us, and Lucifero's badass, from grabbing the sword when Asta swung to now the captain's having to step it up because Devil Union Asta ain't cutting it. Shit is getting intense. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and Lucifero, you could turn into that villain that we've been asking for Black Clover. You're on your way, fam. You're on your way. Have an awesome one.
What